Hey, everybody. Truman Lowen here at the Northwest Houston office, the WSB and WFG. Thanks for coming. We're going to get started. There may be people coming in later, but I wanted to share uh, this. I got this, put together this presentation and for some people that I think would be exceptional in our company. And I saw this video, so I had to add this. So this is the Rep. David Schweiker from Arizona. And he did this talk before Congress last week. So I'm going to put this up here.
As the designee of the majority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I don't know if I can top a
Let me
As the designee.
sharing.
As the designee of the majority leader.
There we go. All right, let's try this again. All right, gonna add sound share. Why is it not doing it?
As the designee of the majority leader.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker Pro Tem. I don't know if I can top a Panetta's,
right.
my friend from California's Great White Shark Attack.
This guy got
are talking about airline delays, but we're going to do something that's particularly amusing and fun. We're going to talk about why the fiscal house of the United States is collapsing.
Nobody I've ever seen do it before.
And for a number of folks who've watched my floor presentations, a lot of this is going to be familiar. This is a primer particularly for our new members. Right now we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of new staff with the new members here in the House of Representatives, and hopefully on the thousand-some televisions around the campus where you have C-SPAN on. Please, if you actually are interested, if you really want to understand how much trouble we're in, give me a few minutes of your time. Well, actually, give me almost an hour of your time. Let's sort of walk through the reality. I'm going to walk through some of the solutions that are absolutely wrong. And then we're going to talk a little bit about the reality of the math. And the punchline we're going to come back to multiple times is really simple.
You have to work for me here.
The primary driver of U.S. sovereign debt is our demographics. Those of us who are baby boomers, we got old.
So he's talking to the new.
And the political class here, unless we're willing to tell the truth, there is no path to saving us from a failed bond auction, a failed debt crisis.
And for the first time,
a world where we all live dramatically poor, and it doesn't have to be that way. And look, I know I'm a broken record, but damn it, somehow we got to get this to start to sink in. So let's actually walk through some of the reality. I always start with this chart because it's just easy to get your head around.
That's mandatory.
This is
what that is.
2022.
Medicaid.
Now, the funny thing is, it looks like 2023,
if you look
the
at
percentage that is mandatory, that means it's on autopilot. Your members here, people like me, we won't vote on it.
Other discretionary spending.
This is Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, these things that are a formula. This percentage actually went down in the, it looks like it's going down in this budget year.
13%.
It's not going down because we're spending less money. It's because we're spending so much more money on discretionary. It actually took
Social Security
several points more of the percentage of spending. Now, a lot of that was one-time spending, will fade back down. But you got to get your head around.
Medicare,
The
Social Security,
majority,
43% was
the
defense.
vast majority of U.S. spending is what we call
43%
mandatory. It's
was other
entitlements.
discretionary.
It's you
So
get
much
because you
more.
work
And
so
he
many
said,
quarters.
in
It's
10
because you
years,
turned a
in 10
certain
more
age, because
years,
you're a certain
which
tribal
is
group,
the
because you're a certain level of
2033,
poverty.
there will
You
be
get these benefits and they're
nothing
automatic.
left. There'll be nothing, there's no discretionary, there's nothing
It's
else
a
left.
formula.
But.
And then over
a
here, you see this little
Medicare,
green
Social
part?
Security.
That's
Okay.
discretionary.
So.
That's what we
don't take
call
my word for it, go ahead and
non-defense
look at it.
discretionary.
It's
This
really
is
well.
what everyone thinks of as
Alright. So, we're not gonna watch the whole thing. We weren't gonna. Alright. The,
government. That's your foreign aid, that's your FBI, that's
all right, so I'm choosing my dream team. I'm looking for people, and I want to utilize those who have the most knowledge and experience and resources to win. Right, I want to stack the deck. Okay, people who's going to be the easiest to get to understand, the easiest to understand. You know, to be able, they can look at somebody's financial situation and know what they're taught, know what they're seeing. Right, and the sooner we make, you know, the more I stack the deck, the better odds that we're all gonna win. Okay, you know, the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. Roy Jones Sr. used to say all the time, if you one way one thing, you be that one anything else. If you're a winner, you're gonna be a winner. If you're a quitter, you're gonna quit or loser, you're gonna be a quitter and a loser. Right? Yeah. Whatever you do, whatever you put the same effort and enthusiasm, you're gonna get the same results. You know, and then X is a lot like Y. So you hear a lot of sales coaches and consultants in the mortgage and real estate business. They were talking about becoming a full service broker. You know, really understanding your client's needs and their ability to offer solutions, and having the ability to offer solutions. Okay, but what do they usually do? They usually they find a financial professional, you know, financial planner or a investment advisor, and they refer them business, hoping to get reciprocal business. Okay, but that usually works out to be a one-way street. It doesn't, you know, it often doesn't go the other way, right? And been there, done that. Okay. My background, I joined the Navy to box, and that's what I did. I got trained as a advanced electronics technician, and to work on flight simulators. But I was in Pensacola, Florida, and I trained every night with Roy Jones Jr. and Roy Jones Sr. I had 70 amateur bouts, ended up becoming, you know, on the All Navy box team twice. I spent 10 years as a Navy SEAL. I went to Navy SEALs because some Navy diver told me that if I went to the SEAL teams, they'd send me to the Navy boxing team. That's the hard way to do it. That's what I did. And I was decorated in Valor in the Panama invasion. And I spent 11 years as a mortgage real estate broker. I was a broker from started in 2003. But I was 11 years in that industry. And then I been a financial literacy trainer, helping average people learn the strategies of the wealthy. What I'm talking about, that dream team, is other financial professionals. You know, when you look at accountants, loan officers, you know, what do? They're looking at the same information I'm looking at. This is a checklist here, right? Everyone needs to have you know, their full name, social security number, date of birth, copy of the last year's tax return, their W-2, small employees, their 1099s, from all other income benefit sources, you know, charitable contributions, medical expenses, health insurance premiums, mortgage interest, you know, 1099 or 1098 receipts from their energy efficient upgrades, closing documents they bought or sold during the year, insurance premiums, real estate taxes paid, you know, rental income, receipts from all expenses, insurance premiums, real estate taxes paid, et cetera, et cetera. They compile all this list and they figure out what they could deduct. The what they can deduct to get them all on the same page. I could be able to have this take their maximum write-offs, so they're paying less in taxes at the end of the year. Okay, so that's what they do. All right, but they're not looking down the road. They're not looking, when someone needs some money the most, how to save them from taxes. Okay, they're not looking at that. All right, so that's what we would want to help them do. Help them have that resource, right? Then you look at mortgage professionals, right? What do they look at? They look at, these are the Fannie Mae guidelines, right? 660 FICO score. They got a 45% debt to income ratio. They got 2 years employment history with no gaps, 80% loan to value, clear title, no liens or encumbrances on the property, 3 months PIT on reserve. PIT stands for principal, interest, taxes, and insurance. Okay, to get them in a house. And then of course they're compiling all these documents. They get the 1008, which is basically like a cover sheet on their over the whole package. Then there's the 1003, the signed residential loan application, a tri-merge credit report. They got the most recent what's pay stubs, most recent pay stub on top. Then the last 2 years W-2s, most recent one on top. And then their last 2 years 1040 tax returns, all schedules. 2 months bank statements, most recent statement first. Current investment statements, their CDs, their money markets, their stock, mutual funds, etc. Their appraisal and their title report. And they send that in to the underwriter. Underwriter looks over, goes, okay, that this is within the guidelines, and we'll give them this loan, either to reduce, get them cash out, reduce their interest rate, lower their monthly payment, or get into a new house. But again, you're not showing them, helping them pay down that mortgage, pay down the rest of their debt, save for retirement. They just drop them. Once they're done, they're done. Well, right now, they put a lot of people at some really low interest rates over the last few years. And so those people, now that rates are up, they're not going to be refinancing. They're going to be doing that for a while. And so they've really limited their source of business. It's going to be purchase loans. It's going to be purchase loans, and those are wait for property values to drop. All right, so I just got done talking about this. All right, just got done training on this. The X-curve principle. There's other priorities that people have. Their children's education, saving for retirement, paying off their mortgage, vacation travel, enjoying life. So the X-curve, these two lines intersect between the law of decreasing responsibility and the law of building wealth. So when you're young, you don't have a lot of wealth. You're not making a lot of money. You don't have your assets built up yet. You're not, you just start saving. But you got a lot of responsibility. You're paying rent for the first time. You just got with your significant other. You're together. And you're like, gosh, she's taking all my money. Then you start having kids. You're like, I know she's taking all my money now, right? And but after a while, so you got a lot of responsibility. You may have bought a house, and now you got a mortgage, car payment, and taking care of, you buying groceries for the whole family, and you got a lot going on. All right, but you're getting smarter about what you do in your job. Okay, you're more efficient. You can do more in less time. You start doing better. You start saving your money. You're building toward you build up your nest egg. You're building your savings. You've got savings going on. You got your accounts growing, right? And the kids, you don't got to feed them anymore. They can feed themselves. They can get themselves dressed. They can get themselves to school. And eventually they leave the house, they go to college, they graduate from college, and you're paid down your debts, you paid off your mortgage, right? Your accounts have all grown. But what happens? You you're protecting your family. You know, what happens if, you know, while you're building your wealth, while you're on this track, something happens to you. Okay, what's gonna happen to your family? Okay, are they gonna be able to stay on this track? You know, are they gonna, you know, is it gonna happen? Or are they gonna, you know, they're gonna foreclose on the house and your wife and kids gotta go live with your parents or hers? Jeopardize your children's chances to get into college, you know, all these things. You gotta consider what happens if you get, you know, you get a stroke and you have to go to a nursing home facility. You got that, you know, you have a contingency set aside to take care of you. You have to go to a nursing home and all that. So, you know, how do you do that? You know, well, something called life insurance. We're going to talk about that further, but you know, if something happens to you, you make sure you got enough coverage that your family doesn't have to take that drastic step backwards. It's gonna be hard enough without you, right? And then, so they can stay. This curve can work. You take your place, and so your family's taken care of, just even if you're not around. Okay? And so, you know, you want to make sure that you're on track. Okay. And, this is a proper financial foundation. You know, you build it right, you build it strong. Okay, we start off with protection. That's what I just talked about, the life insurance, the disability coverage, you know, then you got debt management. You got to take care of that, knock that debt out, pay off that mortgage, pay off the credit cards, stop using the credit cards, right? And then build up an emergency fund, because everybody's gonna have an emergency, just not a matter of time, you know, when it's gonna happen, you know. And if you don't have funds set aside, guess what you do? You go back on the credit card, you go back to the bank, get a loan, now you're back in debt. And it's a vicious cycle. So you want to build that 3 to 6 months income in reserve. And so if something does happen, you don't have to go back in debt. Then we're talking about investments. Okay. A lot of clients, you know, they have you know, their focus is on income generation, you know, their job, their business, their savings, establishing credit, managing their debt. You know, so you think one of these accomplishes the other? You think, you know, get this proper foundation would actually help accomplish what the clients are focused on, right? And we're calculating the financial needs. All that same information that the accountants and the mortgage professionals look at, we look at. Okay, we're looking at you know, it's called the dime method. Stands for debt. We'll make sure you have enough coverage to cover whatever they have in debt, the mortgage, the credit cards, car loans, whatever, right? And then the income, you want to have 10 times your W-2. You want 10 times your income coverage for, and if you, oh, we got somebody coming on. And then if you have 10 times your income, so if something happens, you know, or so something happens to you, your family has 10 years of income to survive on. But really, this in case you don't die, and that way you have, you know, 10 years income, tax-free income, tax advantage income that you've got coming in to be able to cover you for your retirement or supplement your other investments. And then of course your mortgage, you want to have enough to pay off the mortgage, so you're not leaving that behind for your family, right? And then education, you know, maybe it's student loans that you're paying off, or maybe it's your kids' college, right? You want to have enough to cover that. And then minus, then you have any existing coverage, you know, the difference is that's your shortfall. That's what you need to have in coverage. So you're leaving, you know, you don't want to leave your loved ones unprotected. This is the insurable need for you and your spouse. And then all right, so we're looking at tapping into these professionals who already know how to look at these documents, look at a bank statement or a pay stub, and see, you know, what it is. actually what they're looking at. They can see the forest and the trees. And I'm talking about, this is a title rep, they, she got 6 arms, but that could also fit for a processor because they're doing a lot of stuff. They're trying to get these files closed. And then my appraiser, and then the stack of files that represent the processor, working all the files, and then you got the escrow officer. They close the deal and they get transfer the property to the new owner. So you're already used to leveraging these people. What we want to do, we want to be just like this. We want to be able to let you leverage us to help your clients and get paid. All right, just like you're doing now. So if they're not paying you, you're paying them, or you're getting your client to pay them. But we want to be the same sort of support for you, just like your processor, your appraiser, your title rep, and your escrow. Okay, we want you to be able to outsource this service that pays you. Okay, you have to get a license, but if you already passed, like when I passed the California broker's license exam, I wasn't scared of the state bar after that. This is a lot easier than taking that test, right? And in the process, you put yourself, now you're really making money off your referrals. You're not just wishing a prayer that somebody's going to refer you some business back. And if you're working with me, I'll give you all of it. So this is what we're talking about. We're trying to, there's this crisis going on. We need some people that have experience and are warriors in this field. Right? And all you got to do is, it's a real easy transition. Right? It's not hard. You're way ahead of the curve compared to most people because of what you've been doing in the work space. Right? We want to help you help your clients, and we want to pay you for it. So I'm going to leave in the chat here. I'm going to share it. I'm going to leave in the chat a link to my website. And this is my business is yourbusiness.info. I had this website for a while, and I was wanting to get a capture page, and I realized I had a capture page on this website, but it was just down to the bottom, so I just make that the top, the front page. All right. But if you want to, schedule an appointment with me, and I can sit down and go through the details, explain to you, and show you how you can leverage us and how the kind of compensation is for doing that. I'll be glad to do that. All right. Well, you guys have a great Saturday, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. All right, have a great day.